Good morning. It's Cooladoola from OptionScalps. Here again today with another pre-market show. I am starting to feel a little bit better. I'm happy about it. Happy, man. Starting to feel a little bit better. Still a little nasally, so sorry about that. But starting to feel a little bit better today. Okay, man. So we had a bit of a pullback overnight. Um, kind of looking at SPY. Let's look at it in the daily here. You're going to see a potential evening star type of candle set up here. Where are we seeing a potential retracement? Um, it's on the board today. It is on the board today. Wouldn't be shocked. Let's just say it that way. I think you could look for a potential 5 all the way down to 561 visit today. That is the range, okay? So coming down to these lows, all these lows right here, is in the range. Do you think that is a possibility? Do I think it's probable? I'm not so sure if it's probable. Um, but here we are. So let's talk about this real quick. So previous day high right here at 568.68. That's exactly where we're kind of standing in regards to SPY here. We could find another bounce off of this and then look to retest this range. For me, for me, getting and closing under 569.44. If we say close under that, under the 5 or 15 minute, I think that will induce a sell for us to move and really test this level. And additionally, I think we could go and retest some of these key levels here at 566.57 and then potentially back down towards this range down here. So these are going to be your key pivotal bounce spots, which is going to be 564.20, 565, of course, and then your high right here at 566.54. So mark these levels down. All these are important right here. And let's just say you get under 565, you get under this teal one here, you're more than likely coming in and looking for these levels down here, back at 560. Gamma tells us that. Let's take a look at that real quick. Partners over at Gamma Edge giving us this awesome info here. We kind of look at what we're looking at today as far as expiration goes. It kind of looks like they want us pinned between 570 and 568. So bouncing between those would not be outside the range of what we're seeing on options right now. So if you're taking a look at this, well, 568's right down here and 570's right in this range over this block, right? And so options virtually are telling us, hey, it's right here. Well, excuse me, it's right here. That's virtually what they're telling us for the close. I would be shocked if we don't see the weekly close up here, which will ruin the doji star, right? Or ruin the evening star. And excuse me, ruin the evening star, and then additionally, let's see, let's take a look at this real quick. Make sure. Okay, I don't know. I don't have my chat over here, but it is what it is. Okay. Here we go. So that's it on SPY. So that's what we're kind of watching. I do not think we will get over 572, so I won't even go over it. I don't think we'll go over 572 today. I think that's, if we do, it's like to tap it and come back down. I'm looking more so, I think today, if you're looking for anything, I think today's the best day to potentially buy your lottos. You can look for your lottos in the sense of you could probably buy like a 561 for like $12 at open. And and see if that thing just set an alert at 565 and just walk away. You can buy one of them and walk away, and then you can come back, say either lost 12 bucks or you're probably up by 75 bucks. So, but I do think that we'll probably find a bounce on one of these levels here. Would not surprise me to see us kind of work our way down here real quick and then kind of just be range bound in this realm, and then potentially move that PM session. Or it makes more sense, as we want the weekly close in this green box, for us to make that push down early and then maybe recover back to it in the PM session. So um, spies for me is not not the greatest right now because of where we're open. We're getting a little bit of a pullback in the pre-market. No data today really that's going to be dictate this. We do have Fed speaking, but nothing crazy here. I do think that our range is virtually, like I said, 572. Your more realistic range is going to be 572 to 565, and then your open range is 560 to 572. Tesla here, kind of opening near this 243 area. So we talked about this yesterday, where we said that if this thing wanted to break out of this pattern, it could come and retest into this 245 zone and potentially into that 250 zone if it wanted to get into a gamma squeeze. We said that the wall on Tesla was, let's see if I get this load on the other page here. We said the wall here was around the, or to go and test either 236 or potentially all the way back up at 245 on this breakdown here. It got close, didn't quite get there, but I'd like to say that's a pretty good call right there. I'd say that's a pretty good call to say that that was in the cards. We're starting to see here that today they have it all the way up to 250 here. Um, the wall is at 245. I think that we're going to find ourselves struggling getting over 245. I do not think that this thing, I wouldn't be chasing 250 today. Let's just put it that way. If it got there, I think it would be very quickly. I don't think it would go any higher. I think it's worth the short into next week type of deal and get some type of pullback. There's no confirmation staying anything of the sort of shorting Tesla. I'm not telling you to short Tesla. I'm just saying when you look at that options, you really have to see next week growing. And I guess you kind of are here. Looking at next week, you're kind of seeing that 260 grow here. Soon that will probably take 250, and that might move that potentially into that direction there. For me, our swing meter here is telling us that we're potentially at a topping zone. I think that you need to be super cognizant of this range and be vigilant on watching breakdowns. We are in a potential topping zone. Normally we can actually move into this range and then we can squeeze, continuous squeeze, kind of like this right here, where we just this overlay is SPY here. We see this thing kind of just pressing up. This was just a squeeze here. We could see this again, or it could be just a short visit again and then looking to come back down. Maybe that creates some type of wedge for us on SPY, right? Retraces back in this range, and we find ourselves in something like that, an ascending wedge. We'll see what happens. So Tesla today for me, I am looking at it over 240 set over 244.24. I do think that it's likely to find its way up to 245.63. If it makes it over 245.63. I do think that 250 will be a short visit if it does go that route. Would not be surprised to see Tesla um, get if it does move below this range. I would not be surprised to see Tesla get some type of reverse action, get it closer to that 230 range that options had this kind of pin to. But 240, 237, right in this range right here. So watch for a potential reversal late in the day for it to close between 240 and 237. I think you're more than likely to find this thing closing on this retest, potentially in this zone right here, right around this 239. Yeah, about 240, about 240. So that's my thoughts. I think we'll get around that 240 here, but it is screaming bullish. And you got the Tesla fanboys and the Elon fanboys, everybody hopping on board and tweeting about it, and it's just going to try to run it up as good as they can. If taking a look at Apple right here, we're virtually at all time. We're about to make another all-time high there, or not an all-time high, excuse me. About to make a new high on this. We talked about this yesterday. We sniped this little short here, looking for this thing to press down, and I mean we in our Discord we sniped this about $2 off of the lowest price on the contract for a put, and we took this wave down. Um, we still think that Apple can make that pullback and move back in this range. Our runner got stopped, but we did take profits from 210 virtually to 280 on a contract, 230 contract there yesterday, and then held one of them virtually, and then it ultimately got stopped because of theta burn and recovery. So we'll see if this thing wants to make a pushback down to this 225 area. I think it will. But what we might see this thing break over the top. If you see it break over the top of 229.80 by open, it's already looking to try to press over this range. Opening over this 230 range, 229 range, I do think that we'll find ourselves selling down. Ultimately, I do think that Apple's target is going to be in between this 232 and 231 range. Watch for it to make a press into there, and then potentially find some type of reversal. But at the same time, don't be surprised to see this thing open right here and try to make a little run down here. Don't be surprised in that. If you're looking to play this for the upside, you're watching the break here, and you can either buy and set your stop down here, and then look for this thing to run up, or you watch it kind of get over, watch the confirmation bounce, and then look to grab that next wave up. And then once it breaks through here, you're looking for it to hold there. So Apple's fairly, I mean, super bullish over the last couple days. I'm just really interested in seeing kind of what happens with the market today. NVDA, let's take a look at this real quick. So for me here, anytime we open into this range, I think this is a opportunity to start looking for calls. Um, once we swipe 117, it might require a bounce in this 116.71 range. So watch for this to potentially push down here for a bounce. But I would not be surprised to see this thing need to come down for some type of confirmation bounce. Your targets to the low on the low side are going to be 116.71, 115.73, and then virtually at 113, 114 right down here. Those are going to be your targets for the downside if it wants to make that continuation down. Wouldn't surprise me to see this thing faded for the rest of the day into this 114, 115 range. Would not surprise me one bit. If you do make it over the top of, say, 118.65, watch for this thing to run and target into that 120 range. I talked about it yesterday. I didn't think that we'd really get over this. that this would kind of be the height of it. I think this would be the run here. If let's say it recovers or doesn't recover, like from where it opens. Let's say if you just see this thing just start screaming over the top of 117, it's probably going for its target at 118.66 and then continuing up to that 120 range. So watch for a quick recovery. If it opens down here below this level, specifically below 117.45, and it starts pressing up and you see it holding over this, I would just look for a call, setting that to setting stop loss below that, looking for it to target 117, or excuse me, 118.65 into that 120 range. Moving into the upcoming weeks here, we do see that NVIDIA is starting to hold a moving average. It would not surprise me to see this thing move into this 127, 128 range going into the upcoming weeks. Would not surprise me one bit. Still below our weekly 20 here, which is something to notate, that it has not gotten back over the top of that over this entire week. So that is an interesting little deal. If we actually close on it, then it is what it is. It's probably what will likely happen. If we're taking a look over here on our gamma, like I said, our gamma edge partners, data here for options is showing that your GEX supply at 120, GEX demand at 115. So virtually those are your bumpers there. You're looking at this saying, okay, there's not a ton of calls over the top of 120 this week. Let's see what we're looking at next week. Next week we starting to see them pound the calls, looking to rise this thing into that plus 120 range. The floor does start to get a little steep at that point, gets to 110. Starting adding in the rest of October. It really looks like it's call dominated, and it looks like they're trying to press this into that 130 range. When you start getting deeper into October, starting to see that October bounce for that November election, right? So we'll see what happens. It does look as if NVIDIA wants to try to break out. My deal is I don't really see this. I said this over a year and a half ago that I didn't really see NVIDIA getting over 1200. 1200 was the mark. I thought that's where we'd go. We'd sit there for probably some time, because it's Ford PE at that point, anything over 1200 was extreme risk. And I know you look at it and you're like, but it has such high upside and you try to justify it. But if you really truly think about it, where it's at now and where they say in 5 years is an absurd amount of growth. And so Ford PE, it makes sense right now. You're sitting at a 20 PE, right? But it's a lot of risk when you start looking at current valuations. There's a ton of issues with current valuations across the entire market. But like I said, kind of watching right here with NVIDIA. If this thing does start to break below, say 113, you're going to have that 110 floor that we saw on options around this range, which virtually looking for somebody to buy back on some type of retracement here. That probably puts you right around that 50 fib on a retracement, and looking for that thing to find a bounce. I'm not interested in buying NVIDIA until it's sub 100 again. I think you'd want to see it probably in this 86 range, to probably that 75 range before it's good for like investment levels. Personally, in my opinion, and only my opinion, not financial advice. It's such a high risk here with NVIDIA. It really is a little bit insane. But okay, I got a little long-winded on NVIDIA here. I like to make these things short and sweet. I don't know why I went deep on NVIDIA there. but I know a lot of people are asking about it, so hopefully it helped you out. So we've got our ranges set. We talked about potential path into next week, and we didn't cover our Discord. So if you guys are having issues navigating the markets, you're looking for some help, or maybe you're looking for a community, come on down, come check it out. This is our community at OptionScalps.com. We do have a free Discord where our community members go and talk about trade ideas, share education. Also have, just some funny memes, stuff like that. And then of course we have our real-time alerts here that we go over virtually what we're looking for yesterday. It's all of our scalps plans. It's all communicated. There's no trickery there. All my members will tell you that there's no hiding. I don't delete bad positions, and there's nothing like that. I don't take that many positions, and so you couldn't hide anything. So it's by a good day for us between me and Gandalf is probably about 5 positions, and probably the average is probably between 2 and 3. So that's just being smart and precise, and that's what we try to do. So come check us out. We got a 2-day free trial at OptionScalps.com. Come take a look at it, sign up for it. If you don't like it, cancel it. But if you love it, we'll be glad to have you. So thanks for tuning in, guys. If you guys want me to review some type of special ticker on, say, I'm going to try to do a weekend edition, please make comments. Make sure you follow and subscribe. Turn the notifications on, and we'll catch you next time.